Hey, good friends, how's it going? Saturday, almost evening now. Finishing up the day, just got the dairy cow in the stanchion and headed to the house to grab a bucket. Was thinking today, the growing season's so quickly approaching and got so many ideas and what to do and what not to do that I learned from last year, and how many of my mistakes I made from last year can I stay away from this year. And was thinking about just, the mental battle that we as growers, doesn't matter what we do, fruit trees or vegetables or cows or perennial pasture or row crop farming, of the slippery slope of chemical fertilizer and how it's, I don't know, I've thought about it 100 times, and I know you probably have too, if I don't know, wondering almost if it's enslaved us more than it's liberated us, for the simple fact of, boy, in the 50s when that salesman showed up to our farms and dumped that stuff on the ground and everything just came up so green, and humans in our linear mindset were like, potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen makes everything grow bigger, that'll increase my yields. And what we didn't realize was, 5-8 years down the road, we kind of disrupt the ecosystem, the biodiversity of the land we were on, and then it kind of made us dependent on maybe a little bit of insecticide, because then all these bugs show up looking for these bloated plants out of whack, with out of whack nutrients. And then once we sprayed the bugs a little bit, that disrupted the ecosystem a little further, and then it kind of made us a little dependent on the herbicide. And then once we spread antibiotic, most of the chelating herbicides were antibiotic based, then that threw off the fungal bacterial ratio in the soil, and then we kind of had to become a little dependent on the fungicide. And it all kind of happened in that order. Some did, most of them were, and now we got all this money wrapped up in, all just because of the choice that we as humans naturally, we want to grow more on our property, especially when it doesn't look like the price of grain's ever going to go up between now and the end of the world, or when Jesus comes back, I guess. And how that slippery slope for us as humans, us as humans are not really wired to think holistically. We're wired to think linearly. I spoke this morning on a video about birth control and how we just didn't know the unintended consequences of what this was going to do and where it was going to lead us. We just saw a result, a cause and effect, the presence of a synthetic hormone and cause it, and maybe you may take it for several different reasons. As I conversed with a couple individuals this morning, and chemical fertilizer the same way, but there's a great video by Jeff Lawton where he talks about the consequences, the long-term consequences of heading down that road of product-based mindset, being dependent on products rather than just relying on the process. And it's so hard to do for us as humans, because when our neighbor is buying semis and hauling big loads of grain off their property, and we naturally feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing my job, I'm not being successful. But nobody in farming right now is really having an easy time being successful. The peer pressure is unimaginable from neighbor to neighbor. Neighbors that used to help each other out won't even look at each other in the grocery store nowadays, and it just makes all of us sick. I don't know why it's like that, but it's mounted on our insecurities. It's done more to divide us than it has liberated us and bring us together on so many levels. It's killed small towns, because now you don't need as many farmers to farm as much ground. You got all this big machinery, and small town baseball teams don't exist anymore. Could it be thanks to chemical fertilizer? I don't know. Nah. But it changed a lot of things. The same way I spoke this morning on synthetic hormones and birth control changed a lot of things, and we just didn't know at the time. It's only 50 years old, about the same age as chemical fertilizer, really. They both came on about the same time. Pretty interesting. But this year I'm not going to. And if my head's cabbage aren't as big, I don't really care. I just don't want to go down that slope. I don't want to have to have a medicine cabinet for my soil. It's just not. I don't want, not a road I want to go down. I'm young and ignorant, and all I'm doing is observing and watching everybody else, making my own decision for myself. Because frankly, I don't want to be in the same shoes everybody else is in. That's kind of why I'm making this video. Yeah, it might ruffle some feathers, make us all uncomfortable a little bit, but I hope you come at it with the same open mind, asking the same questions I do. And it's, you know, honestly, it's just really hard to when your paycheck depends on me being wrong. So I can understand that, and if, you know, it does, and I feel for you. I do. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that's right for me too. Anyway, chemical fertilizer, how it killed small town baseball teams. And by the way, just so you know, I like making titles that sort of piss people off a little bit, and then they click on my video and watch it, and they may not agree with it anyway. The point of the titles is just to get you to click and watch, and most of the time it works. And then once you're done, don't watch the videos for my content, watch them for the stuff I post below, because like I said before, I'm just an idiot with a camera, blabbing, making you think. I'm not the expert, I'm the messenger. And don't hate the messenger. Anyway, love you guys, hope you're doing well. Catch you later, bye.